welcome to the Old Man Orange podcast. I'm Spencer Scott Holmes.
I'm Ryan Dunigan.
And we have double guest today.
Double guest. I'm Thomas Jachetta.
He was on
I'm Dex Allen.
Sorry, Dex, we cut you off. Thomas Jachetta was on our Sega Genesis retrospect.
Indeed I was. It was a good one.
Yes, and now we're going to talk about one of the best retrospects I think you could possibly have.
Ever.
I don't know what would be better, but the ultimate retrospect of the ultimate video game, probably. Zelda. Legend of Zelda, that is.
Oh, yes. So,
Zelda. We've all grown up playing Zelda.
definitely.
That is like the childhood memories that go into adult fantasies.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter what console. I mean, how old you are. There's always a Zelda game that you grew up on.
Yeah.
Well, there's always a Zelda game where whenever a Zelda game comes out, I always feel like you put down everything else. You set everything aside. Nothing is nearly as important
Pretty
as a
much,
Zelda
yeah.
game.
I sold
that's
probably
about
14 games to get Twilight Princess when it came out.
Worth it.
Well, it's true.
You'll
That and
trade
gas
in more
money
than
to get
that.
down there,
What was
but-
the one? There was like, this is the one that people forgot, but there's like Nintendo sent out, let out the license for Zelda to some like random ass like
Is
system.
that about the videos?
Yeah,
and they would have like, they had those.
CDI games?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The Wand
yeah.
of Gamelon. That's what that is.
There's two of them though.
Yeah. There's one that actually used like, almost, it looked like kind of like animation from like a Christian program or something,
Oh
you
my
know?
God, yeah.
That's it.
What's with a name like Wand of Gamelon? It sounds
I don't
like
know. All the
should be some
characters,
medieval,
all the characters are so
horrible movie.
lame, and that Link is just like so annoying, especially because he talks.
Excuse me,
That's the cartoon.
No,
They
you're
take-
thinking
yeah,
of that like
that's
the
the-
animated
that's the
one.
animated
Where
cartoon.
Link's just pretty much trying to get pussy the whole time and he just never gets it.
Zelda's just a total like bitch who just like, she like, you're like, if you save me, I'll give you pussy. Like, all right, princess.
Okay, princess, I'm so down. And then he does all the fucking work and then it's like, oh, but there's this guy on this nice white horse. He's got money. He's gonna go fuck me in the ass. He says that you can watch for
like fucking
100
him in the
rupees.
ass. Watch run.
Navi's all like, listen, do it.
It's like
It's the most you'll ever get.
Was
like
not
free
the
Navi.
There's a fairy.
Okay.
We'll call it Navi.
What kind of Zelda?
The fairy was a little girl. It was more like almost like in Peter Pan.
Ah.
And Ganon was a pig. Ganon was just the whole time a giant pig thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Old
yeah.
school Ganon.
I have the entire complete series of that on DVD.
I remember it just.
How dare you?
Well, I think it was like one of those things like you just remember like it's from my childhood, so it was good. You
Yeah, so I
watch it.
bought it. Well, I remember because I bought that, and then Cisco bought like the Mario Bros, like the Super Mario Brothers
Oh, the
Super
live
show.
action one?
Oh, man.
No,
Oh,
Well,
the
live
live
action
action
you're right,
segment.
yeah,
There's a
you're
live
right.
the
action
live action segments
It
are
was,
in
it
the-
was the same thing.
with Lou. What's his last name?
I almost said Diamond
Lou
Phillips,
Albano.
but no, that's wrong.
Garrett?
It's like Albino or something like that.
I almost
Lou
said Lou
Garrett.
Diamond Phillips, like that's wrong.
That's completely wrong. You, the guy from Young Guns.
Luke Skywalker?
Lou Skywalker.
He died of cancer last year, I think.
Yeah, I think it's 2 years ago.
What is
actually.
Lou
Same year as
Gehrig?
Michael Jackson. But
Mike Cal.
Cal.
So, you want to
Zelda.
go around and maybe talk about what our favorite one is?
First exposure to Zelda, maybe.
First exposure? That works
Yeah, there
too.
we go. Dex, what's your first exposure?
Oh man, are you serious right now?
Link took you around the corner and said,
No.
"Want to see something?"
No, okay, so it was a long time ago.
And he handed me a bomb.
Before I could even conceive memories, my uncle had like Super Nintendo, and he had Link 2, you know, like the Adventure Link.
Wait, you
Zelda
mean regular
2.
Nintendo?
Zelda 2?
Yeah, okay, so it was
The
regular-
Adventure of Link.
Whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, it's the only Link title that
Whatever
doesn't
that
have like the
horrible
legend
thing
in
is.
it.
Oh, you're right.
It's like you fucking know what it is.
That's okay. That's the only one that's not a legend in my perception. but
That one's kind of a pain in the ass. There's ways I like it,
yeah.
but there's also that frustrating part of when you get hit and die and lose
Yeah.
experience that you've been spending the
Oh,
last
yeah.
10 minutes trying to get.
I only played it that short time when I was like 6 years old, but he was so obsessed with it. I didn't even know, but it was my birthday, and my mom bought me Ocarina of Time for the 64, and that was really cool. And I had no idea really what kind of game it was. So when I first played it, amazing, like phenomenal. It was like no other game I've ever played before, because I played Super Mario 64 before then, and I had Extreme G, because who can forget that game?
Oh, I remember Extreme G.
Is that the one where like they're like robot like motorcycles racing?
yeah.
shit?
Yeah, it's in the
No one
future.
riding
Like,
them,
yeah,
weapons.
motorbikes.
That was a pretty sweet game. I remember at the time,
fun.
and also like for the GameCube one, that was one of the few games like, man, when you were going like 900 miles per hour, it felt like you're going 900 miles per
Oh,
hour.
seriously, in those turbos, you're flying into those walls. And that's one of actually the only games I've ever seen that you get every map just by turning on the game. You don't have to unlock any maps, which was pretty
That game was
sick.
really hard, mostly because you were going so fast you couldn't even see where you were going.
Yeah.
It would just be like,
It
you
was
see
so
the ground.
pixelated.
I
You're
think-
like, well, I can
It
go
was all
that way.
foggy.
I think George Lucas saw that, like, we can top this shit. Throw pod racers. You know?
That game is amazing.
Which
The
is-
pod racer game?
Yeah.
Dude, have you ever
Oh,
played the
man.
Dreamcast version of it?
No.
No.
No,
The
what?
Dreamcast version
What?
takes the N64 version, it makes it look smoother, takes away kind of the fog so you can see way farther.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What about controls? Is it still like the old one?
the controls are, I mean, it's on a Dreamcast controller,
Yeah.
but it's just as smooth.
Okay.
There's
that's
a
good.
PlayStation-
It makes
There's
such
a
a
PlayStation
difference.
2 one.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
made a
He
sequel for
got it
PlayStation.
one time.
Yeah, I bought that game. I saw it at GameStop.
Ass.
We played it.
Complete
It's
ass.
not good at all.
So bad.
That's what I always thought. Like, I kind of heard that. I was like, and it's so sad because that first one's like, you can go pick up an N64, go play a game, it still feels just as good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It never.
definitely.
It's like
You can
Star
always pick
Fox
it up.
64. It never ages.
It's true.
Yeah.
Sure, you can't play it every day for the rest of your life, but I mean, you give it some time, give it some love.
Excluding the fact that it starts getting really frustrating towards the end of that game.
Oh my god.
Like,
yeah.
right when it gets about the last 3 ones, it's like, luck is the only way to win by this point.
Yeah. Abyss. That was the hardest one. There was 2 layers, and the top one didn't have any walls. You
Yeah,
had to
you
stay on
always
that
fall
to
off.
win,
Yeah.
and if you fell down, you were
Yeah,
in
that
last
was.
place.
Oh,
There's one where you're on, like, I think Bespin, and there's actually a part where you're riding on, like, a wind, like, aren't you riding, like, on a wind trail or something like
that's
that?
the same
from
level
it?
he's talking about.
Is it the
Yeah,
same
I think
level?
that's the same.
Yeah,
one.
if you don't stay on that top level, it just fuck
I
it,
remember
restart.
Abyss. Was it Bespin or was it like I remember
It was
Abyss. It was Bespin?
Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking of some kind of like dark kind of like Coruscant like level or something like that.
No, it was like Camino, but instead of water and rain, it was just clouds and air. Basically, what it was.
Oh,
Looked kind of
okay.
like Cloud 9.
Alrighty.
That's interesting.
Cool.
But so yours went from Zelda 2 to Ocarina of Time. That is a big kind of jump.
Yeah, it is
Definitely.
a big jump. But I mean, I was 6, and that was his. He was playing NES, and I was like, oh, I don't know what this is, and so I had a 64. I guess it was more user friendly, or my time, I guess. So that's why it was brought up. Beautiful game. That game had the best morals.
Ocarina of Time
Oh my god.
or Adventure Link.
No. What? Oh no.
No, the
Ocarina of Time
cartoon.
is so good.
Yeah, you can keep trying to get it, but you ain't. Work your fucking ass off to get this chick, but you're not gonna get her.
It's a total rich
The
cunt, by
cartoon
the
from
way.
Bomb to Dongos part.
No, that's the CDI game.
That's
I
not
can't wait to bomb
bomb
the
the dongos.
dongos. That's the CDI game.
So bad.
Fuck the dongos.
Only Link can defeat Ganon.
So bad.
Was there like you just mimed something? Was there
There
a
was
guy
a
like
wizard. There was like a wizard guy
And
who
he
came
would-
in on a flying carpet. And he had a scroll, and he had like it was like written that Link could only defeat Ganon. The king.
just like drawn on there, not even written? Yeah.
yeah.
I wonder if there's anybody like in kind of like Hyrule who's been trained their whole life. Like, you know what? I'm preparing. Second Ganon comes out, I'm gonna be the hero. Just to realize, oh no, that guy's been sleeping the whole time. Who goes out and plays with his fairy all day long is the guy who's gonna save the day. Well, trading my ass off here.
Link's always kind of like, because at the beginning of every game, Link's always kind of like the village idiot. Like, he's like kind of the retard. Like, look, there goes the boy with no fairy. He can't even fucking talk. He just goes, you know? He's always fucking pulling plants out of my garden for some reason, looking for rupees.
Smashing my pumpkin.
You can't get a real job.
Yeah.
Just one of those things, like, yeah, you can be like, really? We're relying on this guy to save the fucking world, of all people?
They switched that up in Twilight Princess. He was like the most loved in that village, though.
Yeah.
But I definitely agree. Yeah, that's how it was like before.
'Cause that's
Like,
how
Who
you-
the fuck do you think you are?
Or it's like in Zelda Link to the Past, where it's just like Uncle wakes him up out of bed.
Yeah.
Stop sleeping! Everything's gone to haywire outside. Have you looked? The king's not in control. These guards, we're the last of the knights. I know you never had any experience in this, but
Too busy fucking sleeping.
you and your fucking sleep.
Pink hair.
Yeah, well, what the fuck is this? It's not even in the booklet.
He had pink hair in that one? Never
Yeah, he has
played
like pink hair, but it's like it's
Yeah.
never explained.
I know. Yeah.
Even in that Zelda, like the history of Hyrule, like that big book, still never explained.
It never happened.
But you see it.
I wonder if the CIA games or whatever, what are they
CDI.
called? CDI games?
CIA.
CDI.
See what happens when you let the CIA make a video game?
Can't wait to bomb a donga. Yeah. I wonder if they want I highly doubt that's actually part of the continuity. They just
No,
like,
they
no,
don't. They
no,
didn't
no.
mention that. Sorry, they kind of like briefly
Smart.
go. There was a time we sold out.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Not anymore.
They ever explain why the Hulk was green? Because, I mean, if they haven't, then that makes sense why they haven't explained why the pink hair is there.
Yeah, if you don't explain these things.
People lose sleep.
Over pink hair.
Yeah.
So, Thomas, what was your first experience with Zelda?
You know, I can't remember firsthand. I mean, well, I'm sure it was. I used to hang out with my friend John a lot, and he would play like A Link to the Past, and I would watch that. That was my first exposure. But the first time I ever like played a Zelda game all the way through, beat it, like it was Ocarina of Time was like the first one I played all the way through and beat. And then yeah, and it was a good starting one to play on. Definitely not my age group. Like I had an NES and all that stuff. I could have played the original. I might have played the original, but I don't remember it. But like the first like real exposure was Ocarina of Time, and it was really great. Really liked that game. Liked that game a lot because first 3D Zelda obviously, and it made Hyrule felt like the world was alive. It wasn't just like there for the player. The world was like the world was going on whether you were there or not. All the other characters like had like their own stories, and they had their quirks and specific things, and they were all really memorable. Like the chicken lady who can't catch her chickens because she's like allergic to them or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, why do you have chickens in the first place?
I know. There's the guy who like sits in front of the village of Croaky Village with his arms crossed, like always hanging his Kakariko Village, like his mouth like rah, like,
rah!
And then he's just like, I hate my fucking son. His son has like an afro and like Fu Manchu, like just like skipping around town.
The guy was in Majora's Mask. It was actually really scary because he was the only person who would stand. At the final hours, he would stand right in front of the clock tower and just laugh at the moon. It was really cool. And I'm like, that's that guy from Kakariko!
And he's also the guy who's also like works on the bridge too in Gerudo Valley.
Right.
He's like, my men! They went off somewhere.
My fucking son's useless, still skipping around town.
Like a flaming faggot!
I never actually talked to the son. Does the son actually say anything when you stop? What does he say? He's like, oh, I love skipping.
I can't remember what he says. I just remember he's like depressed because his dad hates him.
Is that the one with the mohawk?
I can't remember.
I remember there being
That pale guy
Isn't it the
you
dude
can
with
see
the
his ribs?
Isn't the dude with the afro that skips around town like very like flauntily or whatever?
I can't recall.
Yeah,
It's been a while.
I don't know. They always kind of have like these flaunting kind of gayish characters in Zelda. It doesn't matter what Zelda. It could be like the earliest Zeldas. There's always some kind of gay character in it.
Well, I think it's
Like
just the
Beetle.
programmers. They're like, look, I found out how to make this guy run kind of strange. They're like, throw it in.
Kids like gay people. Just like kids love retards.
They're playing as a retard, so.
Throw it in the game and they'll fight over if gaming's homosexual or just funny.
Well, my first experience with Zelda was I played the original one. Like, my mom used to go to this gym, and they had like a regular Nintendo like in the toy room, so no kid actually really touched any of the toys. There was a regular Nintendo like right in the center, so it's like, and they had like Super Mario 3 and Legend of Zelda, because I had a Sega Genesis, so I didn't have any of this experience of Zelda, so that's where I got it from, was from a public access center. And then my friend Cisco had the Ocarina of Time, and it's funny, it seems like somebody starts out on one Zelda and has this instant jump to like Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
And from there, like, it's like, I didn't have an N64, so I went out and got Link to the Past. That's how I always felt. Like, I remember, he had Harvest Moon 64. Well, I couldn't get that one, so I went and played the Harvest Moon Super Nintendo instead. It's like, I felt like I was always downgraded slightly. I couldn't keep up with the Joneses. I had to go with, like, the last year's model.
Still good, though. Link to the Past is a great game.
No, Link to the Past is one of my favorite ones. That one's
really
amazing.
good.
I love that one a lot. I've played that one so many times. And I also like the Game Boy one, even though sometimes you kind of wonder, like, do I need him to make the sounds every time she swings a sword? Like, hot, 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 hot.
It was fun, though.
But for something about it, I don't know what it is. It never gets old. You can hear that like 1,000 times, and you almost keep wanting to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of another thing about that game is you kind of hear, like, you know, when you're younger, like, hey, listen! You would hate that so much. Now it's kind of, when you hear that, you almost kind of smile. It kind of brings back memories.
It sort of does.
Yeah.
Even though it still is kind of annoying.
Am I the only one here who didn't get annoyed by Navi? Or is
Probably.
Is that like because I'm
I didn't really get annoyed by Navi, and it's a big thing.
Listen.
Yeah, it's a big thing now that what's her name from Skyward Sword?
Skyward Sword one's really fucking annoying. She'll sit there and talk to
I
you.
didn't get annoyed about that one. I mean, I did a little bit. Just her percentage evaluation thing. She'd be like, "There's a something percent chance that blah blah blah." And
There's
it's like,
9%
okay,
chance you're gonna be fucked.
Hologram, bitch!
Yeah. There's a 93% chance that this is. Well, yeah, it is. It's a 100% chance. I know it is.
As long as it's over 50, I'm totally content. I'm willing to take that risk.
What was
Skyward-
the name? Fee.
Fee, yeah.
Very nice.
Well, then all the other ones, because then also in Twilight Princess, the Twilight Princess gets turned to the, Midna.
Midna, yeah.
It's like there's always some character that has to kind of be yelling at you the whole time like you're a fucking idiot.
Majora's Mask had Tail.
You mean
Tattle. Okay.
no, no, that's not his name. You mean
Tattle and Tail.
The fairy?
Taily
The
or
is that what his name was?
Yeah, the fairy.
Yeah, the fairies were named Tattle and Tail.
Tattletale.
Tattletale.
There we go.
okay.
Well, then also in like who do you have in Wind Waker then?
The King
You
of
had
Red
the
Lions,
king-
I guess.
You had the you had the
And then you
boat.
got
You had the
Tinkle.
boat talking to you.
He doesn't. It's not the same thing, but there's a Tinkle, and then you get his Tinkle Tuner,
Yeah,
which you kind of.
Has anyone used that?
I've never.
Yeah,
No.
I
You
did.
did? How was that?
It made a big difference in playing Wind Waker.
Really?
Because that's back in the day, like me and my friend would sit there and like you could use the Tinkle Tuner at the same time, and it really showed you where it almost gave you like almost like a semi-cheaters map, not really full on, but kind of showed where shit was and made it a little bit better.
That's cool.
That is nice. Because I've never owned a Game Boy Advance.
You never owned a Game Boy Advance?
No, I've never had one.
Did you have a Game Boy SP
I
ever?
had an SP.
Okay, well you're not missing out then.
Yeah,
the Game Boy,
pretty much.
the
That's what
Game
I
Boy
thought,
Advance
yeah.
was kind
I'm
of
like,
like.
well, there's a
There was
slot
no
here or
there was no
something.
lit screen or anything.
It was actually it's one of those, I cannot imagine anybody being able to go back and play a Game Boy Advance.
When it came out, they were cool and it felt.
But yeah,
good.
but now you realize you had to sit underneath a light.
I know.
Yeah.
SPs are still like my favorite. I
Sony
think they're really
outside.
cool.
Those and
can't
the
play.
micros were so
Micros
cool.
were cool too. I used to play those in high school just because no one could possibly see you.
Do you know how expensive those micros are nowadays?
They're very expensive.
Those things are worth so much. I mean,
How much?
there was a time period, like I think it's when you bought one,
They're like
Thomas,
$40
because you got one for like $30 when they're on sale.
Yeah, yeah.
They're like $40 or the $50 used.
Yeah, they're expensive. Yeah, they're expensive.
Our friend Cass, he has like the 25th anniversary Mario one.
Uh huh.
It's
Very
like it's
nice.
like it has,
That thing's worth like $150 used.
he like, got it from Japan, I believe. It's metal and
For a
it's
micro.
They're so expensive.
It's metal and its color scheme is not just like Mario, but like the pixelated Mario from Super Mario
It's
Brothers.
the color of
So
like
it's
Famicom.
Yeah.
It's like that
that's
golden
cool.
red.
Oh, right on.
I don't even think Famicom.
And
That's a good point.
they also made one. Cisco had the SP one where it was like a regular Nintendo.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
That one was kind of cool.
Those.
But it was funny because you can buy an
The black
SP
and
off
gray.
eBay for like $15 to $20, but like those micros are so expensive.
Oh, yeah,
And you probably get a couple
everywhere.
games with that SP too.
Yeah.
Maybe they just didn't think the micro was going to be a huge hit, but
Well, I think it was when people.
just- I think
it's a collector's.
Yeah,
item.
it's
it's
more a
for
collector's
people-
item, but I also
Yeah,
think
it's like obscure.
that screen on it was actually like because at first you're like, oh, the screen's gonna be smaller.
It's
like,
so bright,
but it's
good,
so
though.
bright and it's like so crystal clear looking. It's like
Yeah.
what the fuck?
I used to play Metroid Fusion on mine all the time.
Oh, Metro Fusion.
Metroid Fusion's my favorite Metroid.
I don't know. Do you like? I don't know. Super Metroid's probably the one I like the most. But I do like. I like that. I also like the Metroid Zero mission. That was a cool remake.
I'm out.
Metroid's
I've only
Metroid's
played
pretty much.
Prime and Prime
You know what
2.
Metroid really
I'm
is
on
though?
my
It's kind of
Super
just like
Mario.
Zelda in space when it kind of gets down to it, sort of.
Zelda in space and you're a chick.
Zelda.
You're still mute though.
So it is Zelda in space.
Oh, she sort of talks. Yeah.
Same as the Zelda mindfuck.
What?
No, I guess my first interpretation.
Zero
I guess
Suit
my
Zelda.
first exposure to Zelda would be no shocker here. I guess
Skyward Sword. No.
Four swords. What? No,
The GameCube one.
The game.
you won. No,
You know that Four Swords for
Ocarina
GameCube
of
has a
Time,
single player
we get that
mode
out
on
there.
it?
How
Just
sad
sounds like
is
the
that?
saddest thing ever.
I got me and my 4 friends. You know,
Well, I remember the
just
main,
set the CPUs. They understand me.
the one problem with that GameCube one though is that was one of the most
Controllers and
expensive
stuffed
games
animals' hands.
because you had to have the
It's
GameCube
fun,
game.
isn't it, SpongeBob?
Dude, on that Four
Sorry.
Swords game though, you had to have the GameCube. You had to have 3 Game Boys.
Yeah.
3 of those Game Boy adapter cords to the GameCube. It's like
$20 each.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
like Jesus Christ.
You needed those to play the game.
yeah,
You needed all that to play that game.
play that game. Play 4 players. Now you can play
That
it
is-
single player.
Oh my god!
I remember that
But
game
this-
was fairly rage-inducing as well in terms of multiplayer. Kind of like Mario Party, just like cooperation, just
Like, dude,
hard.
what the fuck?
you have to move this rock so I can
Get over here,
Yeah.
bitch. At least back then, though, you could just like wave your hand across and slap your friend when he's
Yeah,
like.
yeah true. They're actually there with you.
You can't do that in this online age now. You can't physically hurt them.
You have to set down your headset, get in your car, drive off,
It was great. Yeah,
Oh,
when
see-
people sit there.
fucking
and
bust
snap
through his window.
as far as co-op goes, I think the 3 things that bring out the worst of man, and just in life, the 3 things that bring out the worst of man life and death situations, money, and New Super Mario Brothers Wii.
I think it's a Mario Party.
No, there's Fusion Friends.
Mario Party's
It's
mostly
all those things.
No, yeah.
Mario Party really just brings people together to this horrible realm of like where friendships go to die. Because that's where you
Hey guys,
realize.
let's have some fun. Snicker, snicker, snicker.
Because you guys have to team up every so often, and then you end up having like go against each other.
Then you get that guy who's like, oh, I don't own an N64, guys. I only got Sega Saturn. This is confusing to me. The joystick and the button scheme, and you're like, gosh, fucking, why do we bring this guy over? Well, he's the only guy to be the fourth player. Fuck that kid.
I found him on Craigslist.
You know, take like if you found a kid that has Sega Saturn, you'd be like, hey, you want to come over more often? System costs $400. In fact, why don't I go over to your house? You must have like a pantry full of food. Anybody remember that back when we were kids? Like, you'd go to almost anybody's house, and they always had this pantry of like food. And it was
Depending
always
on-
filled.
It depended on some friends. Some friends were just kind of like,
yeah,
you know.
it was the opposite for me most of the time. I'd go to people's houses and they had no food, and I'd hate them.
They'd have
Iceberg
they'd
is
have
like-
you go to the fridge. They have like craft singles, some orange juice, and like for some reason a package of batteries in there.
Honestly, it's like after the recession, like you go to like your rich kid's friend's house, and you're like,
Oh yeah.
what the fuck? Top ramen and it's off-brand? Where the hell's the Cheetos? Where's the cereal? The beef jerky? Like you're complaining.
I know, right? Shoot, people just come over to my house and they'd be like, "You have anything to eat?" And I'm like, "Oh,
Got some
I care
grass
about
outside."
cereal." I'd bring people cereal. This is just a stupid party.
Here's cereal. Here's some water. It's not cold. Room
Like
temperature.
There's that scene in Friday, like we're out of milk. Well, I just use water or something like that. And he's like, yeah, when he got the Captain Crunch.
I love the way he goes around the kitchen like, yeah.
I can't explain why. Just ice keep going.
My favorite part of the movie.
Reach for Captain Crunch going.
He
yeah.
pours himself like the entire bowl, like the entire Captain Crunch is one bowl.
And water. Yummy.
Because I think his dad drinks all the milk, right?
Yeah.
You didn't finish.
Zelda-
Yeah, what was your Zelda experience?
I was trying to,
You
but
said
then,
Four Swords, and I don't believe
I was
that's
joking.
true.
No, but I said Ocarina
back
of
to
Time.
Zelda.
I was saying Ocarina. Before I had a chance to finish. It was Ocarina of Time. There we go. Ocarina
Well.
of Time was my first one. No real shocker there. And I don't know if I can say anything that anybody else has already said.
It's magical.
It's magical. It's like you play. Probably Mario 64 is probably my favorite game for the 64, and I didn't like it as much as that. But when you play, like, oh my god, it was just something totally different. You never saw anything like this before that.
Well, Ocarina of Time, I think that game's just mind-blowing just for the fact that, like, I just remember seeing it. It was just like, you couldn't believe, like, when you were a kid, if somebody just gave you, like, a completed file, you could run around for, like, a month or two just playing off all the shit you have. It's just like, oh my god, there's a hammer, and this hook shot, and bow and arrow, and just, like, all those little things that, like, I mean, nowadays you can't take for granted, like, whatever, fuck it. I'm not pulling that hammer out unless there's something I gotta hit. It doesn't bring me that much charm and excitement as it used to. But, like, as a kid, you could just play that. You could play somebody's, like, completed file, you're like, this is the coolest thing ever. When you get, like, one of the, like, you know, some older kid or, like, a cousin or something, it's like, dude, check this out. Also, I got the 2 levels unlocked in GoldenEye. Like, what?
Aztec in Egypt. What?
Mind blown. Well, that Egypt level's fucking hard to
Oh my
unlock.
god.
You can play Zob Job too. Yeah.
Well, that's like,
Well, in multiplayer, when you start
Yeah.
unlocking all like the random miscellaneous characters.
but it's like that Egypt level. That takes more than just skill to get that far.
It's true. I played it. I played Egypt at my friend's house. He had it unlocked. I come over and I play it on my console. I can't fucking do it. I don't know what the hell to do. And he has it all completed. He's like, "Oh man, it was no big deal." I'm like, "You're a genius thing. I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. At least on that level."
GoldenEye. Sure.
You get the big Goron sword.
Yeah.
Anybody get the big
Everyone
Goron
gets
sword?
You always gotta get the big going sword. It's just
Yeah.
that's like most of.
I never used it, but I got it.
Isn't it kind of funny when you're a kid though? When you're a kid, you want to do all these little side missions and all the these bonus quests. Now you're just like, fuck it. Tell me where to go next.
Nowadays, when I play RPGs, I just go, "Where's the best weapon? Okay, good. That's about the only thing I need."
Yeah.
Like,
Where's
I
the
remember back in the day,
best
I'd take
XP?
Final Fantasy like 7 and 8, and I'd take the strategy guide out, and you'd almost just go from like, let's start from the beginning. We're gonna do all the side quests, every single one of these.
Yeah, I did all the side quests in Skyward Sword, and they were all pretty fun. I 100% that game. I really like Skyward Sword.
Skyward Sword was, that game was awesome.
I haven't beat it yet. I know I've had that game for a while. I haven't beat
It's
it
got
yet,
like
but
it's
I really love what I
out of
played.
all the Zeldas I've played, it's got the coolest last boss fight that I've
Yeah, that
ever-
last boss fight's
of
really
any
cool.
of them. Yeah, but I haven't beat a lot of Zeldas.
I'm gonna be the one stumbling in
I
here.
beat
Do you fight Ganon in that one? Is he
I don't want to spoil it for you.
No, you
So
don't.
you just
I'll
wanna
say,
find
I'll say
out.
so. You don't fight Ganon, but
You don't fight Ganon, but
But
it's
you-
but
somebody.
but you'll be surprised. It's cool. It's really
Okay.
coul how it ties into the rest of Zelda.
What we're
And that's-
saying is,
it's
play
all
that
M. Night
game, beat
Shyamalan,
that game.
yeah.
Don't question.
Yeah, that game-
It's cool. It's cool how that game's story is and how it really ties together every other Zelda pretty much. And it's just cool how Zelda stories they all tie in together, but at the same time they're completely separate.
well, now that they've made that one's like it's like the original Zelda game at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Kinda
number
like
one.
It's the seed of Zelda.
That
Yeah,
one's like
I
is-
agree.
It's where
that-
everything sprouts from.
that's where like because they just came out with that Zelda history book with all those Zelda
Yeah,
artwork.
yeah. That came
And
out
that
like the
one-
same time.
Yeah.
Around the same time.
I
They-
bought that.
That's apparently the official first one. That's the official first Zelda now.
That's a official first.
As
Zelda.
far as the storyline goes, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
that's kind of
Numero uno.
the progenitor.
For a while, like Minish Cap was the first one. For a
That's the
little
second one, I think.
while. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They
I've pulled
explains. I think I heard that explains how like they make all the people. How there's
I liked it quite a
miniature.
bit.
There's like miniature people living inside shit, and they make the rupees, and that's how rupees appear, like in vegetables and grass and shit. Like
You know,
that.
Minish Cap. I have it on my.
That's so
I have it on my
cute.
3DS.
Really?
That's what I heard. I
I
don't
never
know.
played Minish Cap. That's adorable.
I've been wanting, I've always heard great things about that one. I always feel so bad for not playing it because like I have it on my 3DS, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna play it. Nintendo gave me this for free. They want me to play this. They wouldn't just give it to me. They're like, Spencer, listen.
Spencer.
Spencer, listen. I know that you didn't pay $250 for that 3DS. You only paid $170, and you still got the Ambassador Club thing. But enjoy it. You cheap fuck.
Mario's giving you a lecture on it.
You look out the window. He's standing there like his fucking hammer. You know, just taps on the window. Hey, you played the game yet?
You played the game. You played the
I
Minish
played
Cap?
Mario and Donkey Kong. Yeah, that's not Zelda.
He walks in, just fucking like breaks your Xbox 360.
Don't play that anymore.
As long as it doesn't come in like the Kool-Aid guy, everything will be cool.
It's a me.
Kool-Aid Man.
Breaks in. Oh yeah.
Now I've beat mostly all the
interesting
main
walk.
Zelda games, like
Mario-
Twilight Princess and
Mario and the Kool-Aid guy like switch bodies. Like Mario comes in, like, oh yeah, Kool-Aid guy comes in.
because the hammer just hits the Kool-Aid guy and fucking shatters him.
I'll cut you off. I'm sorry. I had to spit that out there. Go ahead.
I don't know. I was just talking about like I beat it because I beat it like Skyward, you know, Twilight, Wind Waker, Ocarina. Except for I haven't beat Majora's Mask. And the main reason, the one thing I always had the problem with that game though, I hate how you can't just save. You have to literally go through your entire day.
Yeah.
Hopefully, hope that Dad doesn't shut the power off or like.
Although it has the RPG aspects where you can save. There's save points in Majora's Mask.
No,
The
those
owl
save-
statues you can save there.
No, because those are only temporary saves. Those are only if like you have to leave the house for a bit and then come back. But
Those
once you
save you
reload
quick.
it goes away. So it's not a true save.
Yeah,
Well,
so
it's-
in case you load it and then your power goes out or whatever, then you're just
Yeah, the only problem with that game is I've had that game freeze on me before, where it's like fuck.
Which were in the
Gotta
mountains.
do 2 more
of-
hours of that. Even though I know mostly when you go back and do it, you're like, okay, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be because you know exactly where to go now.
Which we're in the mountains up here, so like during a winter storm, you're fucked.
Oh yeah, you're
Yeah,
very
that's
careful about what
true.
games you play, or you save every like 10 minutes when it's like winter.
Yeah, or at least you got your battery backup because that's what you got.
Gotta have.
battery backup. Did you ever beat any of like the Game Boy ones? Like, did you play Oracle of Ages or Seasons? You played
Yeah,
either of those?
I played all like the original Game Boy ones, like Link's Awakening, which that game's amazing, and then Oracle of Ages and Seasons.
Link to the
They were
Past.
trying Oracle of Ages
Well,
and Seasons.
I guess I always think it was a Super Nintendo game, but yeah.
Oh right.
I never played that one, but they were trying like the Pokemon Red and Blue thing on that, weren't they?
Ages
Except for
and
they were
Seasons.
different games, though.
Yeah, they were kind of different. They were different aspects. Like Ages, you would go like time travel and stuff.
And Seasons, it would like change seasons, kind of
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
like the new Pokemon
All right.
or White and Black. I think do that. Does White 1 do that? I can't remember. I've been playing White 2, but I kind of sometimes you play.
I
second.
haven't played White 2. That's the first Pokemon game that came out that I did not get on day one.
I haven't beat it though. I don't know what I started it and I keep going it and it's fun. Don't get me wrong. It adds some different things. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But it's just something I don't know. I just
Black
haven't.
and White were okay. I thought they were really good. I'm really stoked for the new ones.
The new one looks
X and
fucking
Y,
amazing.
yeah.
Like when I saw
stoked
like the
for
screenshots, it's like I don't need to know anymore.
those.
I am
know,
already.
pretty much. Yeah. I'm really stoked for those.
The new Pokemon look pretty. There are some that look really cool. Too.
I haven't seen anything besides the first, like the starter 3. And that's one thing about Pokemon I wish they would change is like the starting 3 types. Like water, grass, fire. That's cool, but it'd be cool if they
Like
switched
electric, dark.
it. Yeah,
It's
like
just,
psychic,
random.
dark, and fighting or something as starters would be really
You know what they should do? They should just literally there should be a random generator that just gives you a Pokemon.
That would be pretty nice.
That would be cool.
And I mean, if you could even start off like Mewtwo as your first one. If it's
I don't know
randomly
about that.
selected enemies.
Level 1 Mewtwo.
I mean, it'd be level 1.
Oh yeah,
so
you
come
go
on,
like
yeah.
you pull out yours, you like get a Ratatat or something. Gary, he has like fucking Dragonite.
You're like, damn it.
level 100.
Smell you later, ass, and walks away. As he has his fucking like,
Like hair goes back and
his
forth.
emo cut, just like flapping back and forth. Yeah.
Fucking Gary. Fuck Gary.
Fuck Gary.
Oh, he's just better than you.
Gary Joke. I always called him Gary Joke. I don't know why. Because it sounds like Oak, and he was just like, fuck you, dude.
Well, this goes to Pokemon, and this goes to like Zelda. Did you guys ever just like name your character? Just like, I mean, it works better for Pokemon, but did you ever just name your characters like obscene things, like for like like when you're playing Pokemon, for instance, like Gary, like your rival, what's his name again? He's my grandson. I forgot my own grandson's name, and then you put like your like dickhole or something like that.
In Pokemon, I always name my rival something stupid like little bitch or something like that.
There was one, I think it was in Gold and Silver, I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it was Gold and Silver, because that was the first game where your Pokemon had to be like happy. Some Pokemon had to be happy to evolve, and you can get them haircuts and stuff. And like one of my Pokemon's name was
We're always happy when you get a haircut.
yeah, one of my Pokemon's name was Your Ass, and then you would get the Pokemon a haircut, and the person would be like, "Oh, look at your Pokemon. Your ass looks very happy." I thought that was funny.
That is really good.
Dude, just for that moment.
Pokemon, yeah, I named my characters of a whole bunch of crazy stuff, but
That's half the charm.
Zelda.
I went pretty traditional with Zelda and just kept it. As
Yeah,
well.
only when I was a kid, like I used to put it like as my names, like this is my file. But now it's just like, no, I'm Link. I
Yeah, I'm
understand.
Link.
I am Link.
It
I want
makes-
to say once when I named Link like Scab. I don't know why. I just named him Scab.
There's like a pirate.
I don't know. No, Scab. Like, not Stab, Scab. I just
There's
think.
no scab.
What's the
Okay,
one
yeah.
with the horse
It
mask?
sounds like a pirate name.
Jabroni.
I think it sounds like a tweaker name to me.
Names.
Sounds like that
Is
too.
it name?
I'm pretty sure.
Pirate
it's
could be a tweaker.
He could be, yeah.
Jabroni.
Jabroni.
Jabroni. That
That was what
Jabroni
Nate.
for-
Yeah.
Well, no, that's
friend
from
of ours.
wrestling.
Oh, okay.
That's a rock. Call people jabronis.
Well, it's been in like wrestling since like the 70s or 60s or something. It's like just like a wrestling word passed down through ye generations.
Jabroni.
Jabroni.
You, the Rock, will anchor this most noble word,
You must take it and carry it like the traditions have.
The ones before you. The WWE fashioned.
The Hulk Hogan's and the Ric Flairs.
Bret Hart's.
Triple H.
You must take the mantle.
Who did he pass
And
it on?
it's Jabroni. I couldn't think of anything cooler.
Okay, so Zelda.
I gotta say, my favorite Zelda though is not Ocarina of Time. It's gotta be the original. Is definitely my favorite because I played Ocarina of Time and then I played just random ones here and there, and then I bought the original.
For a regular Nintendo, or did you get for Game
No,
Boy?
I can't. No, I think I played it the first time I beat the original Zelda was I had when I got a GameCube, I got the collector's.
The 40th thing?
Yeah, and it had like the demo of Wind Waker. It was before Wind Waker came out, and I played the first Zelda on that. And the first Zelda is so good. I really like this. The world is really cool, and it's like all the dungeons they're creepy. The music's creepy, and it can be tedious at times because it's kind of repetitive. But like the payoff when you finally beat Ganon at the very end is really, really satisfying.
No, that game's
It's
great.
full of secrets and stuff, like really obscure secrets. The music's great. It's just a really fun game.
No, it's just such a creative game, too. Just where you can just go around and really just try shit to how to figure it out. Because that's really what that game is. It's just really trial and error. Just, it gives you not too much
exactly.
like a way forward.
Yeah,
You
there's,
just
like,
kind of
really
dropped
cryptic-
off and
yeah.
say like, okay,
Yeah.
as far as the bus is going, you figure it out from here.
You kill the giant pig.
Dude, speaking of
Figure
that
it
Fortis game, I picked up a copy of that game, like in pretty good, in like almost mint condition for $5 at the flea
out.
market.
Wow, that's awesome.
That's amazing.
I
Was
know.
it gold too?
Well, no, it's just like I guess kind of silverish, but no, that game's like worth like $50 though. If you try to go buy that normally, still expensive.
Well, I don't blame you.
I got that
It's
game
rare
for so many things. I have the 4-disc collection. I have the regular Nintendo version. I have the Game Boy Advance one. I have also for my Ambassadors Club. I have it on my 3DS.
You have it on your Wii?
Yeah, I have it on my Wii.
Yeah.
I got a lot of versions.
That's
of
like
that one.
something you have to have if you have a Wii. You're like, I can get some Nintendo games. Zelda.
Gotta have Zelda.
Well, I didn't have a Game Boy Advance for a while, but I got one of those Game Boy Advance adapters for the GameCube.
Yeah.
And
That thing's awesome. I love that thing.
It was awesome, but I ended up buying like Legend of Zelda, and just I didn't get too far, but just a few days later, my house got fucking robbed.
No.
Yeah.
Such a tragedy.
That $5 game I got used wasn't exactly the biggest loss, but yeah.
It's more everything else that adds up, and it just kind of puts a damper on that day.
Exactly.
Definitely. That happened like when I had a Dreamcast. I have a new one now, but my first Dreamcast, my grandma's house burned down.
I remember when that happened.
Yeah.
And you just got Sonic Adventure 2 or something, I think.
I got something. I can't remember.
I want to say that was right when it came out.
I was like in Disneyland, and then I found out, and I was like, oh no. My first thought was like, wasn't if anyone was okay or anything. It was just like
we're
my
Dreamcast.
And Sonic Adventure 2.
Oh, yes, such a good game.
I never played
Tails missions aside. Tails and Robotnik missions aside.
And no, it's Rouge's and Knuckles missions aside. Those are like the
especially
horrible ones.
Oh,
Tails
like
and Knuckles I
dig
can
shit
like
up.
manage.
You can manage, yeah.
Yeah, okay, I went back to play Sonic Adventure 2 though the other day, and okay, when you're those Knuckle or not Tails, but the Tails and Dr. Robotnik missions though, it's like to me it's like when you're a kid you're like, oh, this is kind of fun, but to me it's like now it's like fucking brain to just run around, just blow the shit out of everything, and just keep going.
Yeah.
Other than like the Sonic and Shadow levels, it's so hard to kind of sometimes play some of those other ones.
Yeah, it is.
But you said you like the chow breeding?
Yeah,
That's
so
so
great.
That almost seems chow breeding almost seems like training for serial killers. It could
I
be
don't
that because
care.
you could beat up these defenseless animals if you're an
It's
ass.
so fun.
I did it one time. I felt actually horribly bad for it, but I felt horribly bad for it. But one time I just had to see what would happen. But I want to say I was like Knuckles, and I was just kicking the shit out of this one little chow for like an hour, and I was like, I feel really bad because I just want to see what would happen. And it reached this point where you'd walk up to it, it would be quivering, shivering, looking down. Then it would look up at you, it would scream, "Ah!" Start crying and run off. And I'm like, I gotta go
So
take a
much joy in those moments.
I gotta go take a shower. I feel so fucking horrible right now.
I have just beat the shit out of some poor defenseless creature.
Well, I just want to know what would happen. I just want to see. He's like, it's just for science, you know. Just
Yeah, that's literally what scientists say when they first get a monkey. I'm just gonna go beat the fucking shit out of it and see how it reacts.
I felt so horrible.
You're like that guy in the Lost World who like takes the little like taser thing and shocks the company.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the chow's never all ganged up on me and ended up fucking killing me, so I think I won in that scenario.
Yeah, but do you go to sleep at night thinking that?
That chow's scream still keep me up at night.
I'm pretty sure they're making a new Sonic Adventure. I think I saw something about that recently.
Sonic Adventure 3?
Yeah, like a new one. Like there was like a teaser, and it was like the adventure continues, and it was like Sonic.
That's sweet. I was shitting my bed for
Well,
that game.
hopefully it's better than 06.
Don't even talk about that game.
It's not. That was nom for Sonic fans. Actually, no, like Unleashed was probably.
Yeah.
I think Unleashed was
06?
better, but Unleashed still is not good at all.
Yeah. Well, Unleashed, what was so bad about it was it gave you everything you wanted and everything you never wanted.
Pretty much.
Yeah, Unleashed.
So it gives you this weird kind of like, you could fuck this really hot chick, but you gotta go suck that dude's dick before you do it.
That's Sonic, pretty much in a
Would you
nutshell.
do it? Did you play through Unleashed?
I never finished it because I was like, I'm just gonna man up the
Yeah, I
Warhog
wouldn't
levels.
suck a dick either.
I'm gonna man up these Warhog levels, and I reached this point where I'm just like, fuck it, done. You know, so I just got so angry.
I stopped playing that game because I didn't know where to go. I didn't know what to do. It was like so convoluted, and the overworld was like just bad.
Yeah.
So I just had to stop.
I played a little bit of that game, like the first 2 levels, and I was kind of like, oh, I can kind of get it. Now, if you want to play the good Sonic game, though, it's the Sonic the Hedgehog 4, Episode 2. That game's fucking amazing.
That is fun, yeah.
Still need to play it.
It's almost as good, but not as good, as A Link to the Past.
Yeah.
Nice segue.
Keep
Segue.
us on track.
The plot continues.
Now, did you guys ever beat A Link to the Past?
Yeah, I played.
I played it, but I never beat it.
Never played it.
That is one of the... I recommend that
Ballad
Zelda
of the
very
Wingfish.
highly.
Oh yeah.
I love that one so much.
It's really cool because it's in the same storyline as Majora's Mask, which is nice.
Actually, no. Nowadays, it's split in a different storyline. Because what happens is after Ocarina of Time, it splits into 3 different ones, where Link's an adult, and for some reason, the adult storyline is the Wind Waker ones. Go figure.
I thought it was one of the kid one.
Nope, the kid
it's
one
the
is
adult
Majora's
one.
Mask and Twilight Princess, and then 4 Swords.
Yep.
Oh yeah, because he wasn't there to stop Ganon or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
And then, like, if Link gets like his ass handed to him by Ganon, then it breaks off to like A Link to the Past, Link's Awakening, and then Zelda 1 and 2.
Oh, okay.
So it's got this kind of weird thing.
Wind Waker is also probably my second favorite.
Dude, have you seen that Wind Waker remake
so
that's
good.
coming out?
That's
a
like one of the
remake?
main reasons.
It's coming out for the Wii U.
Yeah,
It's like
That's
dude.
kind of what I want.
HD.
It's
it looks
for
so
the new,
sweet.
It's for a new Zelda and that remake because that's really cool and it looks really good.
The moment they stop making Zelda games is the moment I stopped living.
You're gonna like disappear like Bruce Willis at the end of Looper.
Yeah. Or I'll wake up one day, it'll be like 6 cents, and I'll be like,
I'm dead.
I'm dead.
There's no new Zeldas. Oh no. Yeah, it doesn't really.
What's a twist?
It looks less like a HD
you.
remake and more like just a complete revamping.
No, because the graphics they look a lot different than just like.
Yeah, they're not just like cell shaded. They're like super HD and nice.
I remember when Wind Waker first happened, like people were so excited for GameCube Zelda. Like GameCube Zelda's gonna be amazing.
Well, they gave us that sweet teaser thing where it's like Link's battling Ganon and he's all manly and mature. It looks like he's like 26 years old now. You're like, fuck, man. Like Majora's Mask Link, man. Look at him now. He's such a man. He's went through so much. And then they kind of here's. I just remember like that, just like kind of like people just were like.
do you want to play Link
I almost feel like
without legs?
I almost feel like they gave out that the Master Quest GameCube disc thing.
So
be
good.
like,
Yeah.
for you guys who don't want, here you hold this for a bit. How many people do you think pre-ordered that Wind Waker, got that disc, but never picked up the Wind Waker? Because it only cost like $10 for that disc.
Yeah.
Strange enough, I didn't pick up the Wind Waker when it first came out. I had played it later on. I actually played it at a friend's house. So I got the Master Quest, but I never picked up my copy of Wind Waker. Probably Best Buy's like, what the fuck? We ordered all these copies. What are we gonna do with them? Nobody came to pick them up.
They're like in a landfill with like ET for Atari.
No! All the pre-orders.
No, but that game actually, when you breaks right down to it, that is a good game. But everybody was just so fucking pissed off when that first happened. I know I was pissed off. But then once I actually looked past it and just played the game, like, this is actually a really solid game.
No, it's a really cool game, but
It's a
that
great
is
game.
kind of it's just kind of frustrating to cock tease you like that.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
You know, they kind of made up for it though when the Twilight Princess came out though. They're like, here you go, here's that man Link you wanted.
Well, sorry.
Yeah.
Draw better next
Yeah, a lot of people don't like the sailing aspect of Wind Waker, but I thought it was really cool.
I enjoy
I
it.
do remember the sailing taking a long time though sometimes.
It does take a long time.
It could have taken...
Yeah, but once you can warp, it's no big deal. Yeah.
Well, I heard that they're gonna fix that a little bit more, that you can warp a little bit better than the HD one.
That'd be nice.
They're gonna make it just so it kind of smooths it out a little bit, so it's not so much like traveling.
Yeah.
Plus, it was kind of fun. Like, you come out like an outpost, be some pirate shooting at you. You're like, I'm gonna go fuck that guy up. You stop, you go up there. And just
Battle pirates. And
Yeah.
Well, it had a bunch of cool concepts. So once you finally sat down and went you didn't sit there
I thought
fucking
all the
Toon
dungeons,
Link.
all the dungeons were really cool and stuff, and I really liked the weapons. The Master Sword looks cool. Mirror Shield looks really cool in that game too.
Oh, yeah.
And like the sail, getting treasure and stuff. And Beetle, the first game with Beetle.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Tinkle was, they brought Tinkle back into that
You
too.
know Beetle like in
Tingle,
Skyward Sword.
Yeah.
You know what?
Tingle.
You know what sucks is when you go in there and once you bought all this shit, and then you're like, oh, I can't buy anything. You leave, and he's like, oh, yeah. It's like, dude, I bought everything. Dude, what the fuck are you pissed
You didn't
off?
buy anything?
And he drops you off. He's all pissed. You made me have to peril.
Like, get more inventory. Then.
Yeah, you fucking lazy ass.
The one disappointment I had with Wind Waker was that because I was so used to Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask too, is that you couldn't switch like your tunic in Wind Waker, and that kind of made me mad.
I know, because changing your
different
clothes
tunics
is
are
always
cool.
cool.
Yeah, it was just like, yeah, red tunic, what?
You change it based on your mood.
Yeah,
But then you could, if you,
Twilight
but then
Princess
you could
had
play
that.
through it again with like just Link's pajamas on. You could do that.
Then you play through the third time with Link bare ass naked.
Yeah.
That's good. He's a different kind of Master Sword then.
Oh.
He goes to Ganon, like, hey, Ganon, want a sword fight? Like, not really. Not now, no.
Also, Ganon's naked too.
Yeah, Ganon's also
In pig form. That's disgusting.
Why did I imagine him sweating at the same time? There's a big pig sweating.
And breathing heavily. He's not looking at Link, he's just looking at you through the screen. Eyeing you. It's almost like an illusion, too. It doesn't really matter what you're standing in the room, it's he's always looking at you.
Like, you'll be like fighting him. It almost has like some kind of weird, like almost Hideo Kojima, like mind fuck. All of a sudden you'd be fighting him, all of a sudden, like, just for a second, Ganon appears on the screen staring at you, breathing heavy. Then cuts back to the game, what the fuck, you know?
To be honest.
What comes to mind when you think of your favorite enemy to fight, or just favorite enemy in general? in Zelda? Anything come to mind?
Yeah.
Even though they're super easy, I love killing the choo-choos.
Yeah, that's always fun.
They're just so fun to kill. I don't know why.
Yeah, just slicing.
Yeah, and they always like
together.
split into
Yeah,
multiple
yeah.
ones. Yeah, that's always fun.
They're fun to kill.
I always thought it was kind of fun being on horseback in Ocarina of Time, and when those little like the plant helicopter things come after you.
Yeah, those are
taking those things out with bow
those
and
are
arrow.
scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are scary.
Well, I remember when you play Ocarina of Time for the first time, and you're just kind of like, I gotta make it to the castle. Oh, I'm almost there. The drawbridge comes up. You hear the owl. Then all of a sudden, you like the skeletons pop up. What the fuck? You know, just out of nowhere. You know, you're prepared for it. Back then, though.
Yeah,
No, that I remember as a kid, like that, like at nighttime, I was almost afraid. Like whenever it turned nighttime, you had to go like somewhere in town where you had to play the sun song. Like nowadays, I just can't leave it. Like whatever.
They're easy to kill.
But when you're a kid, I don't know what it was. Just like, oh god, it's nighttime.
Yeah.
Oh, zombies are gonna come out and get me.
Or they had or you go like down in the crypts and like they're also in the Shadow Temple.
Oh.
The face rapers or whatever. Like there's those things of those like
Yeah,
zombie,
they
like,
jump on you and grab. Those things scare the crap.
They
out
like
of
hump your face or something, don't they?
What are they talking about? The Redeads?
The
Yeah.
Redead, yeah, they just kind of slowly walk like, yeah.
There's three main very classic enemies that are really cool in those games. The first one is called the Wall Clinger. I don't know if you. What happens is you run through the dungeon and a shadow just appears below your feet.
Oh yeah, they
Oh,
grab
those
you.
Throws, and if you don't move, it fucking grabs you
Takes
and
you to
just
the beginning of the
throws you
fucking
back
level.
to the beginning.
I hate this.
So scary. I had no idea what the hell I was running into the first time.
I think Ocarina of Time is really scary, but the worst one is in like the original Zelda because it's like, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck.
Yeah.
Because sometimes like you can't really do too much. Like in Ocarina of Time, you just gotta stay away from that shadow.
Yeah.
But in the other one, you gotta either kill it or get the fuck out of there.
Yeah. 'Cause that thing will fuck you up. Yeah.
And you're like, I'm not going to the back at the start of the level. Fuck that.
I think my favorite enemy is like a Stalfos, maybe.
No, because they're always fun to fight.
Or enemies like Stalfos. I like enemies that challenge Link in a similar sort of combat style. Because there's other enemies where you just kind of slice them and dodge them, slice them and dodge them. Other enemies with like a sword and a shield, and you actually have like combat with them. I think those are the most fun.
What are the Staphos again?
Like
the skeletons with like the swords.
Oh, those things
yeah.
are fun to fight. Yeah.
Oh, I like how in Skyward Sword how you can like reflect with your shield too by pressing the
Yeah,
nunchuck
like,
forward.
like you can parry them.
Like that was so badass.
Yeah, I thought that was really intuitive and like responsive and fun with like the Wii. I was just like I want to use a controller. I don't. It's like how I play Zelda is just a controller. But when you play with the Wiimote and stuff, it's actually really really fun.
No, it's pretty cool. I will say, at times, no matter what, it's always gonna be a little bit frustrating because you're like, I'm fucking swinging in the right direction, but it's still going. What the fuck? But still,
Yeah, until you stop doing this,
Yeah.
and you start, attacking. Pose.
yeah, it's almost in Skyward Sword times. It's like you have those exaggerated like positions too. Like, make sure if you're gonna be throwing that bomb, have it held really high up.
Yeah.
Or it's sometimes,
that trouble
and
a
sometimes
few
like when you
times.
charge the sword, you're like, come on! You're putting your hand, throwing your hand up, like, come on, charge, God. Okay, there we go. Fuck, took forever. I don't know how much farther I can stick this up. You're like standing up, and it's always just like yelling at the TV, standing, looking at it.
Oh, go ahead.
I would say, what did you guys think of like Twilight Princess? We never really talked about that one.
I never beat Twilight Princess,
You did-
sadly.
Now, how far did you get in that one though? I always ask people.
Not very far.
Because that's the thing though, is like that the first about the first 10 hours, like I mean if it's your first play, equivalent to like the first 3 dungeons, that part's kinda like frustrating in that game. You're like, oh I gotta be the fucking wolf at this part and then I gotta go through this. But once you get past that game becomes so amazing.
Yeah.
Like after those first 3 dungeons, that game is
like a
awesome.
breath of
The
fresh
ending
air,
boss
yeah.
battle is extremely cool. Because I like the Twilight Princess just as much as I like Skyward Sword just about. I think Skyward Sword's a little bit. The thing I like about that one the most though is there's Link and there's Zelda, and that's about the only really familiarity to it. The rest of it's just so new, it gives you that feeling of like almost playing Zelda for the first time again. And that's what I really like about that, where Twilight Princess feels like, this feels like a world I've already been in before, but with better graphics and more realistic. Kind of looks more like Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
But I love the Twilight Princess once you
So
get past
good.
it. It's so cool.
Yeah, I've put more hours in Twilight Princess than I have of Ocarina of Time.
I put like I think I put like, it was like 50 hours just in my one game
That's a
file.
lot, yeah.
That game took a long time.
So good though.
And it's like,
I never
collecting
finished
all the
Twilight
bugs.
Princess.
it's one thing too, is a lot of people didn't play. I talked to a lot of people and they were like, I started and I never finished it.
I plan on finishing it once I'm done with Skyward Sword.
And it's like it's one of those ones where you just gotta get past that. It's like it's kind of hard to tell people. Once you get past the first 10 hours, man, it's fucking awesome.
But
Like
it's
10
true.
hours, it's like
It's worth it though.
It's
It is,
so
really
cool.
good. Dark. It's nice. The Twilight Dungeon is so cool.
But
With like the light and the shadow matter. I don't know what that was, but there was a dungeon, the Twilight Dungeon, and it just had there's waterfalls of just shadow, and I don't know what the hell it was. It was just like this dark matter. It was trippy looking.
Did you ever play Metroid Prime 2?
Yeah.
Those games kind of feel kind of similar to each
yeah.
other. Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
kinda
like,
like that.
that's really kind of get the idea. You know, like, the light and shadow. Even though a lot of times that concept can become a very cheap concept in video games. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
you just found a cheapest
Yeah.
ass way to make a longer game. Well, let's go to the same area, but it's going to be dark and creepy and scary, and you're going to lose health constantly. Oh, okay. But,
Replay value.
yeah, it's just like games twice as long now.
Dark
You're like, you know, can I just have like the 5-hour version of the game? I actually might enjoy that more sometimes. But Twilight Princess, that game just really works. But Link mostly always has 2 worlds to go to. That's kind of a common thing.
It is, yeah.
With the upgraded shields in that game too, which was nice. And then you could get the Zora tunic, and then there was the magic armor. The magic armor constantly drained your rupees, but you took like half damage.
Yeah.
I think it was. That was really cool.
What happens when you run out of rupees?
You walk really fucking slow.
Yeah.
And then your attacks are like really slow too, and you get hurt a lot.
The recession armor.
It's like, I haven't played
Recession armor.
you know, once your money's gone, that's it, but you still got to carry it.
That's one thing about Skyward Sword that I really liked was the ability to upgrade your items and then eventually like get new ones. Like I thought that was really cool. But then there was like the potion making, which I thought was completely useless.
I never
used it. I
tried it like once, and I just like, well, this is kind of dumb. And I
like-
never fucking used
I
it.
made some really nice potions, but then I just never used them because it was like I don't need these. I don't need these potions at all.
No, that did feel kind of useless.
Yeah.
And one thing I got about too is like to get the Hyrule Shield, you had to go through like that boss battle, like that.
Oh,
And like it was
Yeah.
once like, you know, if you go to the very end, you just get fucking screwed over, and you get like the 200 rupees. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
God, they're gonna do that all over again. That took like an hour.
Talk to what's that dragon's name? I can't remember the dragon you talked to.
Yeah, and he's like, whoa,
Yeah.
I've got to go back and battle everything over
You have to,
again.
like, you have to, like, he's like super sick, and you have to heal him, and then
Like, oh.
I'll reward you by making you fight all the bosses in a row. How about that?
And it's like, well, you get the shield, which you kind of need the shield anyways, because it's like it's the only
Yeah.
shield that's indestructible and can absorb fire and
Yeah,
everything
yeah.
else. But which makes no fucking sense. How the hell did you get the Hyrule Shield if Hyrule's not created yet? When you look at that timeline,
I know exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
that was the first thing I thought when I looked at that book for the first time and looked at the timeline. I'm like, because I was thinking Skyward Sword was like way later when I was first playing it, and I was like, how the fuck does he have the shield then?
Aren't like the people aren't the people like the gods or whatever that the what's the thing Fee? So the chick's name, the hologram chick. Aren't they called Hyruleans or something? The apparent gods or something like that.
I don't remember.
I don't think that rings a bell. I mean, I'm pretty sure, like, all the people who lived, because, like, Skyward Sword, like, the main hub is, like, an island, a floating island. So I'm pretty sure maybe everyone on there is, like, a progenitor of everyone in Hyrule, because there's no one on the ground.
You know, it's one thing I also wish in Skyward Sword. I kind of did wish there was like another town that you could actually go to, like because I thought that the flying part was so cool. It's just, you kind of had your main area, and there's miscellaneous tiny ass islands, but there wasn't really too much more up there. I kind of wish there was a little bit more up there.
I never really explored. I just assumed there was more I had to unlock.
There were some cool areas. There were some cool islands, like the fat clown guy with the diving game. I can't remember
Yeah,
Can't remember
Yeah,
his
you
name.
get through all the rings. Yeah, he's like, oh, I'm a clown, and I'm sad because my eggs, like, everything fell off the fucking off the platform here. Boy, go down and pick it up.
Just got like sad clown, just like committing suicide, jumping off the edge or something.
Really, how many people do you think have fallen off there?
I can explain why the population's so low up there. Maybe.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of our Darwin theory here. You fall off here. You know what's one of the funnest things though is just skydiving in that game. I don't know what it is.
jumping
Just
off
simple
really,
pleasures of life. It's kind of like how skydiving was pretty sweet, like in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. There's
That
just
was
something
sweet.
about like in San Andreas, just like there's nothing more fun than taking the most expensive jet you could possibly find, flying it as high as possible, and then jumping out of it. Jumping out of a perfectly good jet just to like parachute down
'cause you
and pull a
can.
parachute at the last second.
Yeah.
Quick question regarding that right there. I haven't tried it yet, but have any of you guys ever, because you know there's a whole thing when you dive and then you can like pull out your parachute at the last minute. Have you guys ever not done that? Like if you get hurt, does that kill you off the bat? I'm afraid it's gonna kill me.
No, it doesn't kill you actually.
I can't remember.
Because a lot of times I like
you just
he
Wile E. Coyote
no,
that
what
shit?
happens is he automatically pulls at the last second.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if it's like a Wile E. Coyote thing or whatever.
You mean CJ? When he's falling,
No,
you just go
no,
straight into the ground.
let's go back to this. Not San Andreas. San Andreas, you just fucking die.
Yeah. What were you
No, in
saying?
Skyward Sword, he pulls at the last second if you don't do it.
Yeah. I used to jump out of helicopters and stuff at Grand Theft Auto 4. You go to like the multiplayer map and you get a helicopter and you just fly over the city and jump out over the city. And one time I jumped out, like I was super high and I was like falling forever, and then like I fell on a street light, and I survived somehow. Like I hit,
Just a glitch.
yeah, I like fell on my stomach, and Nico Bellic just stood up and was like, I'm
what?
cool. I just fell like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of
Good
feet.
thing that metal street lamp was there to catch my fall.
Something I could have my whole body land on.
Does anybody think that like in Skyward Sword, like the parachute thing kind of reminds you like Aladdin for Super Nintendo?
Yeah, it kind of does.
I never played the.
I never
Aladdin
thought
for
of it.
Super
too.
Nintendo.
Oh,
I mean, I played it, but I played the Genesis one.
The
more.
Genesis one's much better, I think.
is, yeah.
But the one for Super Nintendo it's cool in its own way.
It is. It's a good game.
You know, I don't know.
The last when you fight Jafar in that game is way cooler than when you fight Jafar in
The Sega Genesis.
Sega Genesis. When he turns into a snake, he's not even big. He's just
No.
like a regular snake.
The cool thing about the Sega Genesis, I just think the level design's much better in that one because each level's completely different.
Yeah.
Well, as in the Super Nintendo one, they kind of like repeat like Agrabah for like 3 levels.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. That has nothing to do with Zelda.
No. But the
Actually, no, I can tie this in. Because the one for Super Nintendo is made by Capcom, and Capcom helped make some of the Game Boy games. There we go.
Oh, there we go.
Like Oracle of Ages and Seasons,
Nice,
and
nice,
then
nice, nice.
Minish Cap.
very nice.
I don't know, but did you guys ever play those other? Did you guys ever play the DS Zelda games?
No, other than
The
Spirit
Spirit
Tracks
Tracks and the Phantom Hourglass.
I played Phantom Hourglass. I played that whole game. That was weird because you
'Cause
hit
it-
the stylus, and wherever you touched on the screen, that's where Link he would try to run to it like it was a mouse click, you know.
So it's like a point. It's like playing.
Yeah, it was like a point and click
Indiana
game.
Jones and the Fate of Atlantis.
It was really strange. And if you want to attack, you would swiggle. You would just like.
That's what I always heard. It's like I don't know, like
I'm not really. Yeah.
the only thing with this, like that's the only sometimes my problem with the style or of the DS. Sometimes it's like, don't make me fucking use the stylus. Whatever you do, don't make me use the stylus.
I know.
I'm like, why do I have to move with the stylus? There's a good old D-pad over there. Remember those?
Yeah, it's
Those were
like-
cool.
I don't know.
agree.
It's like one thing I always thought, like a game that did it perfectly was Castlevania because they just used the
Yeah.
other screen was like your map and inventory.
Exactly.
You never had to touch the screen.
Aria of Sorrow was a really good one. I really liked that game because it was most like Symphony of the Night.
Mm-hmm.
And Symphony of the Night is my favorite one for sure.
Wasn't Aria of Sorrow though on the Game Boy?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Okay, I started to stop for a second.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, wait a second.
What was the
Wait,
one for
that's it.
DS called? You played as Soma
There was
in
a-
that
there-
one, right? Though there was one where you played as Soma. I can't remember. Which
Yeah,
one.
that was the very first one. That was called Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I don't know.
Which
The
is
only
one of the ones
Soma I
you
know
sit there and
was
think
from
you're like
Symphony.
Dawn of DS. Oh, what the fuck? Just like Resident Evil Deadly. Oh,
That's exactly
DS.
like the one they released for Xbox, the Castlevania. It's called Harmony of Despair.
Yeah,
it was
Harmony
just called
is HD.
HD. It's like, which one is it? Well, I don't get it.
Yeah, you know, it threw you off for a bit. You're like, is there 2 of them? I'm missing out. Oh, you creative bastards. No, those Castlevania games, the one I liked the most for there, this has nothing to do with Zelda game, but was Portrait of Ruin.
Didn't play that one.
Yeah, me and John Bummer, I remember we used to play that. We played that so much when it came out. And I just remember he was looking at my screen for like trying to get the like all the enemies killed, and there was like this dog flying thing. He's like, what the fuck is this? Where'd you find this at? I was like, I don't know. I killed it somewhere.
No one's played Spirit Tracks.
No, I never played. I never played this. I don't know because
I don't like trains.
Yeah, I don't trains either.
The train just turned. The fucking train
I
turned
used to
off.
love trains when I was a kid, but not anymore.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
they would
back-
have made Spirit Tracks back when they made Ocarina of Time. Would have been the best fucking game in the world. It'd be like trains and Zelda. What?
I had a bad experience on Amtrak, so I'm like, fuck trains and fuck Spirit Tracks.
Well, that was kind of the point too, where like Nintendo Science does this for a while too. They did the same thing with
Phantom
Metroid, where they
games,
just kind of like they almost like overload you with too many games at one time.
Yeah.
And I felt
Yeah.
Zelda was kind of like in that period. So it was like, whoa. Zelda's not the only game I play now.
We know you got nothing going on. Here's 10 games at the same time.
Well, it's like they did have Metroid. It's like, okay, there was Metroid 1, Metroid 2, Super Metroid. Then there was this long fucking period. Then they released Metroid Fusion, like at the same time.
Yeah.
Then not that long after, like a year later, Metroid 2. And only about 2 more years later, Metroid 3, and then Metroid Zero Mission, and then Metroid for the DS, and Metroid the Pinball. And you're like, dude, fucking calm down. Jesus
Was
Christ.
there a Metroid pinball?
For DS.
Really?
Really?
And then, then there's Metroid.
Just now I'm learning this?
Yeah,
I know, right?
That's okay. Did you ever play the Motley Crue pinball game for Sega
I
Genesis?
have. No, I remember we talked about that. You'd be like, because you see like a van pull into the street, just this quiet little suburban neighborhood. Then all of a sudden, you just like see like a light go on in the top room, and you hear like I think like Dr. Feelgood, like a pixie like. You see all the lights go on in the house, and the very pixelated voice. You're turn off that music.
That's terrible.
And then a very scary kind of like Rat Fink style, like Nikki Sixx pops up. It's like Motley Crue pinball, you know.
Yeah, he's got like the doctor's costume on.
That's awful.
That sounds like the worst.
It's like why was Nikki Sixx the only one to lend his license to that game?
I don't know. That's why the time period where you're
Not
just like,
licensed, but it's
how much more money can we make, dude? Let's make a video game. And then Aerosmith did too. They're like, dude, let's put ourselves in a video game.
Generation
Guitar
X.
Hero.
Revolution X.
Revolution X.
That came out for Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo, PlayStation, Saturn,
Arcade. Where you shoot CDs to fight the man.
Yeah, it's pretty much all
The
about
man is going after
Stop the man.
Aerosmith.
You gotta save
Who brings in millions of dollars of
to
revenue.
Aerosmith.
Regarding the future of Zelda, I heard something that the Nintendo had like an announcement thing about like the new Zelda and where they were going with the Wii U and stuff, and they talked about how they might include multiplayer in the new Zelda.
Holy shit!
And I don't know.
And the new
Like
exactly
not for the Wind
Holy
Waker
shit.
remake,
Okay.
but for like the new one they're developing for the Wii U.
How pissed off do you think people will be like, here it is, Four Swords 3? You
Oh,
know?
I would cry a river.
to me, it's like those ones.
blood.
Okay, Four Swords. I think that's a fine way to do multiplayer. It's like to
Yeah.
me, it's like I'm even surprised they consider that Zelda part like the main Zelda's timeline.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. The both of them, the GameCube and the Game Boy Advance one.
Did you ever play them?
I have four. I played the GameCube one once because somebody had it. and I-
Here's a good question. Was there a
And then,
story in those games?
there
Was a
is
story?
actually.
Really? Okay.
And then Four Swords. Thomas, did you get that for the 3DS? They gave it away for free.
I have it. Yeah, I have it.
Yeah, I have it
played
too,
yet,
but I've
though.
never played because I don't have
Yeah.
anybody to play it with.
Yeah,
I can't judge
we
it.
should play
Just,
it.
Yeah, we did because everybody else didn't download it. So I'm like, what the fuck, dude? It was free.
Yeah.
I can't judge it. It's
Robin
just
Williams told me to get it.
Right. Oh,
His daughter's name's Zelda.
Commercials
Uh-huh.
trip me out.
No,
What?
sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say that I'm not sure how that's gonna work unless they completely like redesign how Zelda works. Because like when you fight like a Dark Souls, for instance, you can summon people in to help you fight a boss. But the bosses, you can hit them anywhere. You can hit from behind, from the side, from wherever. Zelda, most of the time, you have to hit a boss in a very specific place and only at a specific time. Like their eye will open, and then you have to shoot something at it or something. I don't know how 2 players would really help.
Well,
that.
here's
Someone
me.
plays as
Like,
Navi.
I don't know.
Stole my goddamn
Everything has to be
idea.
multiplayer nowadays.
Yeah.
They're taking too many single player games and saying like, how can we make this multiplayer? And
No,
it's like,
there's nothing wrong with the single player games at all.
and to me, the serious thing is like, there's games that are multiplayer, but not every game's got to be multiplayer. I don't give a
yeah.
flying fuck about some multiplayers in games. You know what I mean? Like, even if it is maybe cool. Like, I've never played the Assassin's Creed's multiplayer, but that is not the reason why I was playing the game. You know, even the Red Dead Revolver one, I load that one up just once to see it, and I was like, it's okay. It's all it is just a bunch of people running around killing each other. Kind of like the Grand
The
Theft
best
Auto
part
one.
about
Yeah.
the Red Dead multiplayer was like if you did like a death match right before the real match started, you would have like a shootout. Like they would have like your team in a line and the other team in the line facing each other, and you just had to draw and shoot real quick to see who would go. Like I can't remember what.
Oh, I wasn't because I just kind of loaded it up and just kind of jumped into the regular one. I was like, oh yeah, it's kind of like Grand Theft Auto 4.
Yeah, it's like free roam.
So Grand Theft Auto 4 is just
Question.
horrible because it's just like the most chaos ever. It's just like shit is blowing up everywhere, cars are crashing, people are shooting. It's just like the worst world you'd ever want to be in. It's the Grand Theft Auto multiplayer world.
It's like
Quick
East
question.
Town, Detroit, really.
Quick question revolving Red Dead Redemption real quick. Are you just set characters that are already in the game, or do you customize your own character?
Well, it's like when you join the multiplayer, you can go into like either like death matches and whatever, or you can go into like just an open world with like a friend or something, and then they have like you can select there's a group of different characters you can select from. You can unlock different characters by doing other stuff, unlock new horses, better horses and stuff like that. You can't really customize your guy. You can choose what kind of weapons you want to bring out and stuff, but not who. You can choose who you are, but not what that character looks like. You can't customize like armor or like whatever.
oh, okay.
But it's fun. Maybe not anymore because I don't.
I just
know
wasn't
how
sure if
many
it's
people
like
still play
40
that.
John Marstons just shooting
No,
each
there's
other.
like
or something.
there's characters from the game. You could be like
Yeah.
you could be
Okay.
like one of the Mexicans, or you could be
Like
you could be
Banker
anybody.
Seth or something.
You could you could basically
Ireland
anybody.
or
Yeah.
Irish.
Irish.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, just like sometimes it seems like nowadays people are like they do that stupid thing where it's like, oh, well, Call of Duty and Halo has multiplayer, it does well. Everything must have multiplayer. It's like no.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know RPGs. I mean, I think it's cool that you have like co-op sometimes in them, but I think there's a time and a place for those games. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like Monster Hunter can have like multiplayer. It makes sense because it's designed more for that.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I don't think Zelda is designed. The whole point of Zelda, it's that
Yeah, they'd
single
have to-
player. You're immersed into this
Yeah,
world.
they're gonna have
Be-
to change
because
the formula for that.
Besides Four Swords Adventures, it's
And,
been,
Four
it's
Swords is
been
kind of like
single
a
player
spin-off
for
anyway.
the entire history it's existed.
Didn't they include that into the chronology though?
Well, that's what I mean. But I mean,
It's
like
not
it's
broken,
it's
don't
not like the
fix it.
main series. All right, I
Yeah.
mean main series. It's not a main Zelda game. It's kind of like they're trying something new. We realize that it's like they understand. It's like it's not like they said, "Here's Twilight Princess. Make sure you get your 3 friends over."
And another
Oh,
thing,
God.
I keep going back to Dark Souls because I think that game's super revolutionary. Is another like multiplayer thing that I think would be cool about Zelda is in Dark Souls you can like leave messages for other players that they'll see, like a warning
read
about
about
like
that, actually.
there's an enemy up ahead
nice.
around the corner that you might not see, but if you read the clue you would know and you wouldn't get fucked by him. Or like there's an item over here in the corner that you wouldn't see. I think that would work cool in Zelda. People like hints for a puzzle or something.
Yeah, something cool like that.
Yeah, I think that would
They
be
have
helpful.
something like that. Like I didn't play it, but they have something like that in like Zombie U, don't they?
I'm not sure. I don't know anything about that game.
Nah, I don't remember.
Okay.
I heard that game was pretty bad though.
I've heard mixed reviews. I've heard some people say the game's like they're like no.
Cisco.
Yeah, he hasn't, he's gonna get it. He said.
any games yet for my Wii U.
But I've heard that like on that game, some people say that it's like it's just okay, and some people say the game's like fucking awesome. Those people don't know what they're talking about. It's got very mixed reviews, and
Yeah,
I don't know. One thing I will say though is like I'm starting not really to trust a lot of like kind of big company reviews anymore because they just seem to like
you can't really do that anymore anyway.
no, because like really you got to go on Amazon and look at the general public and see like because on there
Yeah.
you can kind of find people like okay this guy seems similar to me. You know?
Metacritic's cool too. I like Metacritic. I think that's pretty helpful.
But because yeah, you list the big guys and it's like yeah they're giving 10 out of 10 that game because somebody gave them some money to push it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
It's
the
like Game
yeah.
Informer. It's like
Yeah.
okay, like 6 or 7 years ago, I remember it was hard to see a 10 out of 10. You
Yeah.
almost never even saw a 9.5 out of 10. I remember when they gave that like Splinter Cell
Every
3,
month,
it was
every
like
month, yeah, dude.
that was like blew your mind. You're like, no game has got a
Resident
fucking
Evil 4. Resident Evil 4 they gave it 10, and it was like the first 10 out of like 3
yeah. The only
years.
I think the
I'm
only
like,
game that
wait,
had
this
like
must
a
be the
10
best
on it
thing
was
in the
before
world.
that was Halo 2.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was so rare, and nowadays like I just like every issue just about there's at least
Yeah.
a 9.5 or 10.
Exactly. Every month there's
Just
those-
10s, just hand them out left and right. Just like yeah, right.
And not trying to sound like a I'm not trying to sound like Oliver Stone and JFK or nothing like that, but it's almost. But when you think about it, conspiracy theory sort of. There's like because Game Informer, they all get it. They all come from like GameStop. That's one of their main. Don't you primarily get Game Informer? From?
Yeah, it's the only place
Yeah,
you
if
get
you
it.
if you get a power up card, you can get.
Yeah,
it.
so it makes sense. Like these are the games we know are gonna sell, so put in good reviews for these games.
Yeah,
Yeah,
on a store.
yeah.
It's just kind of it's kind of.
I mainly just read Game Informer now for like the previews. I never even
Yeah,
read the reviews
yeah.
that,
anymore.
and there's literally no other. You get no other choices anymore. There's no more Nintendo Power.
Yeah,
No
for
more
sure.
tips and tricks. I don't think there's Electronic Game Monthly
Does
anymore.
Xbox still have their own magazine?
I think
I don't
Game
think
Pro
Xbox
still
does that.
exists.
Nope, Game Pro went away too.
But
There's something
yeah.
that was still on like a
Game Pro went away?
magazine shelf that I saw.
I think they have these specials that come out, but they like because I was had Game Pro for like 13 years. I was like I got the last issue they ever said or like their main ones.
I think it's probably just because Game Informer's sucking them all up. Because I mean, Nintendo
'Cause
Power
it's-
is just Nintendo.
Well, I think it's
and
Game
then
Informer's too.
Xbox
Is
Magazine
it's
was just
free,
Xbox.
pretty much.
Yeah, it's
Well,
free,
and Game
yeah.
Informer covers all platform, even PC.
Yeah, things like Xbox Magazine.
Well, they sort of cover PC.
I've
The
always
thing about
felt-
this because the problem I always have Game Informer though is they miss a lot of games. Like they don't really cover the 3DS very well. You know, there'll be so much shit. You're like, what the fuck? I never heard about that. You'll go to like the store. You're like, that game was never mentioned once. I mean, you can
Yeah,
give
you
me
walk
that.
in and you're like, wait, what is this?
At least
Like,
put it in the
new
back where you
release.
give it like that, like literally 1 to 2 sentence review in the back. At least put
Yeah.
it there, like where they put Star Fox 3DS. You're like,
Yeah.
like
That
really,
game's good. That game's really
you
good.
couldn't give it a fucking actual review. You gave it a two sentence review. It's like, come on.
And they gave it a 10.
Indeed.
They get like an 8.5.
One more thing about Zelda that I just thought of was the other thing that they were talking about the new Zelda is they're gonna try to make it not so linear, because like all Zelda games, there's a very straight line you need to follow. You can go off branch, do side quests and everything. but
And you could slightly
like,
change like which dungeons you go to.
Yeah, as far as dungeons go, it's usually just like this dungeon, this dungeon, this dungeon, then this one, then this one, then this one. And the new one, they're talking about how they're gonna try to make it more. I don't know about open world because they're all open world, but just like you can kind of
Sandbox?
just do whatever you want.
I kind of hope it's because the thing about Sandbox is
Legend
okay,
of Zelda Mass Effect Hybrid.
sometimes
At least conversation wise, that'd be cool.
that would be cool.
Because I mean, then you could just choose what Link says, and he wouldn't have to say it.
Are they gonna have that controversial moment where you can like fuck a Gorgon? And you're gonna Fox News. You're gonna have like you saw sight of a Gorgon tit or Gorgo or whatever.
How about a Goron?
Goron.
Gor-
big,
Gorgon, Gorgon. Those are the name of like the Gorgons from Small Soldiers. That movie.
I have the movie on VHS still. I haven't watched it in a long time. I'm kind of afraid to watch it. I'm like,
I tried to watch it again not too long ago, and it wasn't very good.
Yes, that's what I was afraid of.
I was thinking it was kind of weird. I was watching that movie a little while back, and I was thinking this is kind of a lot like Gremlins. I just went on IMDb to look up the director. Same guy that directed fucking Gremlins.
Makes sense.
Oh, wow.
Oh, what?
It's sad how the mighty have
Dante.
fallen.
Joe Dante.
mighty have
That's his name.
No, he's
You're
probably still doing good, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Same guy that also directed parts of Heavy Metal.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
the animated movie?
The plane part where like all the guys start like mutating.
they're originally supposed to be gremlins aboard
Yeah,
that.
they're
That's like
originally Gremlins. Yeah.
yeah.
Weird. A Gorgon is a half woman, half snake. Like
Oh.
Medusa. That's a Gorgon.
Okay.
A Goron.
Goron
A
is from
Goron,
Zelda.
although, is a rock-eating awesome motherfucker who lives up on Death Mountain.
Yeah, but then like choose which thing you want to fuck. I don't know what it is, but like, okay, somebody tells you like, hey, dude, there's this game where like you can actually have like a love affair with these characters, and you can treat the other one like shit if you want. And you're like, yeah, whatever. And stuff. But the second you get down playing Mass Effect, you're like, dude, I'm gonna try to fuck something.
That's true. Because when I was playing Mass Effect, it's kind of like I don't really. It was just one of those things like you give me the option like blue alien pussy. I must know. Is that possible?
Somebody tells you, and you're like, yeah, whatever. You fucking nude. You don't need to see nude.
Your
like,
inner
the
14-year-old
second you're playing the game though, you're like, oh man, dude, I'm gonna try to fuck everything.
That's like your main.
I remember
goal.
Mass Effect 2. It's like how many chicks can I fuck? the universe is in crisis. Yeah, well, I gotta get my dick on.
There's always time for that.
Have you heard about that Majora's? They had rumors about it, but they were talking about like Majora's Mask remake for the 3DS, kind of like the Ocarina of Time one. Which,
They are doing it.
Are they gonna actually do it though?
It is in production.
Makes sense.
That's me so. See, now I'm just gonna say like, okay, I'm not gonna go back and play that GameCube one that has a chance of freezing. I'm just gonna wait, because hopefully they'll have a real save system in it. Just
I know you're gonna hate me when I say this, but I hope it's exactly the same.
just with better graphics.
Well, I have no problems with the save function in that game because I mean, once you play
I guess the problem I've just had is because
it's hard and you got to truck through it and you got to do whatever. But I mean, once you get the hang of it, it's no big deal.
I guess it's like it's one of those ones. I guess just for the fact I've had the game freeze on me before.
Yeah.
That puts kind of a spoil spot in me when I was like, fuck. Gotta go do two. It was like on
That's a
day
maintenance
3
thing.
at the very end too. Once I've just done a bunch of shit. Too. Like couldn't have like done it earlier.
Yeah.
But I can't wait for that. That's gonna be
Oh
sweet.
man, that's my favorite one. George Mask, so good.
My favorite, even though this is like, kind of like saying your favorite Led Zeppelin song is Stairway to Heaven, my favorite's probably Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, Ocarina of Time is definitely. I like that. I don't know that one, and I like Zelda: Link to the Past.
Nothing beats your first time.
Those two
Yeah,
always
yeah.
just
Okay.
they always just kind of.
For sure.
I don't know. Zelda works really well in 3D. I definitely will say that game. That game I think translates better in 3D.
Especially for its first
than anything else.
3D outing. It was like Ocarina of Time was the first 3D one, and it was amazing.
Oh yeah.
Because Mario works really well in 3D, but I still think he's better in 2D. Where the exact opposite. I think Zelda actually is a better as a 3D
Yeah,
world game.
I definitely agree
Very
with
much
you.
so,
Yeah, I agree.
Even though I love the other ones too.
But
Oh,
Super Mario Galaxy,
It's
that
awesome.
game is really good.
Well, that's the thing. Like all the Mario ones are all awesome.
Yeah.
But probably if I had to sit down and compare them, I'd probably say I don't know, Super Mario World, Mario 3. I don't know.
For sure.
Very
for
close.
sure.
Yeah.
But
Super Mario World's
just a
great.
little smidge. Also, something else that works really well in 3D though, Final Fantasy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That made a
Oh,
difference
oh
with
my
7
God.
and 8. Just like, oh, dude, such a huge world.
Did you play 10?
You know, from 10 on, that's where I kind of got. I don't know. I've just kind of not. I don't care too much about Final Fantasy after about 9.
It's because you hate the PS2.
No, I like the PS2. It's just I don't know. The game just it changed. It's a whole different ball game. It doesn't have the original creator on it anymore.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing.
The thing is I got my cousins to play Final Fantasy 10, and they were like, "No, that game's stupid, whatever." I'm like, because they were huge Final Fantasy 7 fans. I'm like, "Well, here's a copy. Just play it and tell me what you thought." And now they're telling me like it's their favorite one. Already.
Really?
Yeah.
To me, it's like
And
I played through the
they've
whole
been Final
thing.
Fantasy 7 fans since they were kids. They have action figures. They have like a couple copies of the movie. They have posters, shirts, and stuff. And I'm like, and now you like 10 more? You guys are so hypocritical.
To me, it's like those ones like it's like I love 7 and 8 are my all-time favorites. I like 9 too, not as much as the other ones. I like 6 a lot, and I like 4 a lot.
I'm playing through 8 right now.
8 is like I haven't beat. It's been a while. I used to play that game like religiously every year, like during the summertime.
Right on.
I mean, I've raped that game in like 3 days.
My favorite's Chocobo Racing.
Chocobo
yeah.
Racing 2.
What was that on? Was
It
that
was on PlayStation.
Okay.
Final Fantasy 7 ain't got shit on that. That's all I'm gonna say.
All I know.
I love Chocobo breeding though in Final Fantasy 7.
Yeah.
I just like breeding.
That's a joke, by the way, just so the internet
Just like
doesn't rip me.
breeding.
I just like breeding.
If I could breed something, I'm just happy.
Yeah. If
You
it's
just
with a
fucking-
hot
the whole
alien,
game is
blue
just-
alien chick,
The
anything.
whole game is just like throw these 2 birds in a cage. Like someone on a megaphone, go! You know? That's the whole fucking
Voice
game.
activation.
Oh,
It's like, hey, you Pikachu with chocobos.
Hey, you Pikachu. Dude, that N64 is worth a ton of money too. That Hey You Pikachu one.
Is it really?
It costs like $100 for that thing.
Yeah, because I know Pokemon Yellow's.
I heard it didn't work.
Oh, that Pokemon Yellow. I have that in the box still. I mean, it's open, but the box still in good condition and everything. That's worth like $100 something.
It didn't really so much matter on things you said. It just mattered on your tone, because you can say, "Hey Pikachu, you're a fucking asshole." You smile, Pika. Like, all right, Pikachu, see you later. He give you a pissed off look and run off. You know, so.
Pika.
You either had the choice back then of playing Hey You Pikachu or Seaman for Dreamcast.
Seaman.
Do you remember that one? It was like it was a fish with like a 40-year-old dude's head on it, and you could talk. I never played it, but
I remember ads.
I don't know who the fuck went out and bought that day one.
I don't know how they thought this would. I don't know how they thought this would fucking sell. Have no idea how they thought this would fucking sell. I remember being in the 8th grade or whatever, whenever that game came out, there was an ad in a magazine for that, and you saw a pair of legs sticking out the end of a bed and a fucking fishtail. You guys remember that?
I remember that. Because that was the late 90s, early 2000s. They had the fucking like.
How can we really piss off the Republicans?
Yeah, like selling shit. I don't know. Cool.
That's golden.
Seaman, huh?
Yeah.
That's horrible.
What's not horrible is Zelda. That's not horrible.
No, Zelda's amazing. No. It reminds me. Whenever I play Zelda, it gives me that good childhood feeling.
It is. That game's got.
And there was hope.
That game takes.
When hopes and dreams existed.
That game takes the very good archetype of like saving the princess, and it just does it the best of anyone else. And even though they're kind of similar, all of them are fairly similar. They're still very unique and very fun.
And don't they just give you that? You ever get that warm feeling?
Well, yeah, it's because all the Zelda games just have they have great morale and they have good morals in them. I remember playing Ocarina of Time the first time, and I beat it. And even as I don't know how.
Don't talk away from
Oh yeah, okay.
Talk towards it.
Sorry. And I don't know how old I was, but I remember beating that game, and it clicked in my head. I'm like, I just did all of this for nothing, and I'm completely content with that. Like, I don't need any reward right now. I feel great. And it was really nice.
And just the ending of Ocarina of Time, when it ends on the two of them just standing there, and it just kind of ends like on a still with a filter over it.
Yeah, it was nice.
No, it's all good. Just like it's like you can pick up just about any Zelda game. I don't think
They're
other than
pretty-
those
they're
CDI
all-
ones. I don't think there's such thing. That doesn't really count as not made by Nintendo. There's not really such thing as a bad Zelda game, and even if maybe one's like not up to par as much as the others.
They're still like great.
Zelda
games.
2. Well, Zelda 2 is more just frustrating. It's just like
I like Zelda 2.
I like Zelda 2.
I like it.
Because it actually, the way it's made is kind of fun. Just like that style, it's way different, and just the strategy you have to have.
I am error.
You are error, yeah.
That was good.
Weird.
And then there's also this like bug, but like they.
It was kind of like the equivalent of like Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest.
Well, those games always remind me very similar. Castlevania 2 and Zelda 2.
Yeah.
They're both the sequels. They both said, you know what? That great, system we made, let's just toss it out.
Yeah.
So Castlevania 2 is like really frustrating. You want to play a frustrating game, play Castlevania 2.
I never played a Castlevania game.
Boy, you're missing out.
Everybody standing here looks like they want to strangle me right now.
Dude, here you go. Here's your fucking start. The
You ready?
Castlevania for the 3DS comes out this Tuesday.
Okay.
Really?
Start there, yeah.
I did not know that.
I
I
just
got it
bought
fucking pre-ordered.
They still make 3DS games?
Yeah, 3DS?
3DS or regular, 3D, like not DS, but 3DS.
Right.
Yeah,
This
dude,
is what we're
fuck, dude, Pokemon X and Y.
No, I mean, recently we've been moving on so quickly. It just feels like it. It's crazy.
I don't know. But yeah, there you go. There's your start in Castlevania.
Yep.
Cool.
Do it.
Do that or... Yeah, I don't know what else you're going to go buy if you don't have an Xbox at the moment.
I gotta get that fucking thing fixed. Before Injustice Gods Among Us comes out, I gotta get that thing fixed.
Yeah.
That game looks good.
That game's going to be awesome. Just because I know that Mortal Kombat was so smooth.
And I'm a huge
Yeah.
DC
That
fan,
game just
so-
like blew my mind how smooth of a game they made that. And like...
Because Mortal Kombat is like choppiest, clunky game.
Oh, I don't know how I used to be as a kid, sit there for hours and play Mortal Kombat. When I play it, when I go back and play it now, it's just like, this is frustrating.
Yeah.
The controls are very difficult, and I'm not having fun. But when I was a kid, I would sit there for fucking hours. I'd come home from school and be like, just Mortal Kombat 3 all day long.
I was playing 4 all the time. Well,
Oh, Mortal Kombat 4.
I had 64, so.
I had Mortal Kombat Gold, that version for it, for a Dreamcast. But yeah.
It was fun. Reptile looked like an actual reptile. I didn't like that.
I didn't like that either. I like when he looks
I'm
like
like, where'd the
Scorpion.
green tunic go? That was cool.
You know what? Fuck it. I don't really care if they all they're wearing the same clothes of a different color. That's fine by me.
Yeah,
that's
totally
Don't-
fine.
I don't need him to look that much different. So it's like Ryu and Ken. I'm fine that they, they're just wearing different outfits and have different hair. I'm totally content with that.
Yeah, especially people come over and they're not like, oh, I want to play Ermac. I want to play Reptile. They're like, I want to play as the red guy. I want to play as this gray guy.
Yeah.
Smoke. But yeah.
That was good.
Well, I think that's a good place to end it at. Cool. Zelda, always a good place. Always warm.
Man. Warm place.
Always gives you a nice home to come back to.
In all our hearts and yours.
But I'm Spencer Scott Holmes.
I'm Ryan Dunigan.
I'm Dex Allen.
I'm Thomas Jachetta.
And one thing really quickly, actually. I think we got an email.
Oh, sweet.
And I almost forgot about it, but let's look that up.
Oh, we should also whore out while you're going to bring up the email. Drunk Batman and Robin episode 5 is up on YouTube. It's also on Newgrounds. You can get links to all that at oldmanorange.com.
Do it.
Yeah.
It's good for you. Watch Drunk Batman. It's good for you.
Drunk
That's
Batman.
the tagline.
Huh?
You haven't seen none of our Drunk
You
Batman?
haven't seen any of our Drunk Batmans? Oh, you're so missing out.
I'm sorry.
That almost sounds very
How
Drunk
dare I be on
Batman.
your show and not have
Drunk
seen your
Batman?
shows?
What is this Drunk Batman you speak of? Thanks for asking, Dex.
Well,
I will tell you now.
Please,
You
Ryan,
know?
explain this Drunk Batman.
How would you
to
explain
me.
Drunk Batman in a few sentences?
Robin, I got my dick stuck in a toaster. Again.
Again.
Even better than
That
that.
hasn't happened yet, but no. Batman loses all his money in a recession, moves up to the mountains, lives in a motorhome with Robin. Robin's lost all hope, and they're just trying to get back into the game best they can. And it gets dark and depressing, but that makes it funny.
Because
Are you
that's
telling
always
me
the fun
that-
part.
Yeah.
It's two guys living together up in the mountains.
In a motorhome, nothing gay about
Not in a
it.
tent.
It's in a motorhome, so it's not gay.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
It's only gay if it's a tent.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
I want a shirt that says it's not gay if it's in a motorhome.
Or if it's in the restroom. I got to go off memory on this email, because for some reason, whenever I go to read it, it's there all day long, and then it's just gone. But Jacob Sampson, who's an avid listener, he wanted to ask, what our favorite comic books were in comic book series.
Oh, this is okay.
Which we all know it's Batman for the main one, because half our podcast involved Batman. In fact, everything has Batman.
I guess I'll name off a couple of my favorite series. Number one series, Batman. Favorite individual Batman stories. I'm going to have to go with Long Halloween. Batman Hush is really good. I really love the Court of Owls stuff I've been reading lately. Dark Knight Returns. That one's a given, year one. But as far as other...
There's another plug-in. Next week is Court of Owls 2 for the podcast.
Yeah, and plus something else, which we'll say for then.
Special.
And probably other comic book series. I love Ultimate Spider-Man. I don't read so much of regular Spider-Man. I have a couple of miscellaneous books here and there. I enjoy what I've read. But ultimately, no pun intended, Ultimate Spider-Man a lot, up until they kill Peter Parker. Deadpool, Superman. I'm really loving what they're doing. New 52 Superman. Green Arrow. Just recently gotten into that. Outsiders. Really dig the Outsiders.
Okay.
Yeah, now I'll let you
go.
go.
Play bed.
Yeah,
like
that's
a lot of
stopping there.
things, right?
I do like a lot of things. I'll let you
I was
go
in a
here.
couple. As
Oh, and
always,
Flash. Okay,
I like
go ahead.
Batman. I really enjoyed Tom Morello's Orchid.
Oh, that book's sick.
I like Judge Dredd. And other stuff.
Oh, and Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
Oh, yeah, Scott Pilgrim. That's actually my all-time favorite.
Umbrella
Just,
Academy by Gerald Way is really good.
Yeah, that's a really cool one. What do you guys like?
I'm not too terribly into comics. The comics that I do like Ultimate Spider-Man and regular Spider-Man, I think. Just mostly because Spider-Man's my favorite superhero. But those are good. Most comics I read are the Amory Wars. The band Coheed and Cambria has a story that goes along with their music, and Claudio Sanchez makes a comic book to go along with the music. And I really enjoy those comics. Those are mostly what I read.
Don't you think that, I've just noticed it's there's a lot of these musician guys that are coming out with comic books, and their comic books are all pretty badass. I really like Tom Morello's one.
Orchid was good.
Yeah, Gerald Way had a great one, and then these ones sound pretty sweet. I haven't read these ones
That's
yet.
a giant science fiction, really epic proportions. It's really cool.
What's it called?
The Amory Wars.
I'll
I
check
have
those
them
out.
all in my room if you want to take a look at them. They're pretty cool.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, I have to say, too, I also like X-Men a lot. That's the Marvel series I really like.
Dex, you?
Dex?
I
like Legend of Zelda comics.
They do got Zelda
comics.
They do got Zelda mangas.
Anything that
Yeah, they've had Zelda for a long
involves
time.
Majora's Mask, I'm in on it. I've read a little bit of Ultimate Spider-Man. It's not bad.
I do enjoy Ultimate
appreciate
Spider-Man.
it. I've read Watchmen.
Makes me angry sometimes.
Watchmen's
Oh, yeah,
good.
Watchmen's
You're
is amazing.
But that's not a comic. What do they call that? That's a graphic novel.
No, it's a comic.
It's a comic. Yeah.
No, it's just a fuck book.
Other than that, I've never read comics. I've just been like a manga guy.
Well,
I guess
that
we-
is comics. Manga means comics in Japan.
Well,
I saw third.
What's your favorite
Note.
mangas? Tell us
Death
that.
Note. I like Death Note the most.
Death Note. I've heard good things about it. I've never read it myself.
Oh, just a few more. Hellsing. Razzle by Jeff Smith's really
Oh,
good.
Razzle is really cool. When the fuck does that next one come out?
It's one dude doing everything, so I don't know.
We need peer pressure.
Hellsing is good. I'm not sure if I
Hellsing's
said
good.
Hellsing, yeah.
Fucking Street Fighter. That was a sweet one.
The Street
Okay,
Fighter
we can just
American.
Go on
Indiana
forever on this.
Hellsing.
Yeah.
But yeah, next week we will do a Court of Owls Batman special for the 50th podcast. I almost said 50th anniversary, but no, 50th episode. So yeah, we leave it to you there. So check out oldmanorange.com and we see you later.
Goodbye.
Adios.